Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee. My name is Lance McKinnon, and I'm here with my co-host Tiffany Linderman. Good morning, Tiffany. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am doing absolutely wonderful in this heat.
I
Uh,
can't even handle it.
I'm ready for 72 and a slight breeze.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so Tiffany, do we have a guest today?
We do. I am super excited. We have the one and only Bryan Majors from Major Preparations. So I'll turn it over to you. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. It's an honor to be here this morning with you all. I appreciate the time and opportunity for sure.
Good morning, sir. It's an honor for us to have you on here. And we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You are a man on the go. So just for you to take time to be on Saturday morning coffee, that's awesome. So
My pleasure.
let's just dive into it because I know it's Saturday and you're a man on the go. And you probably got to be in California here in the afternoon or something, or working on a trick shot or something like that or something. But so let's just dive into it. Can you just tell us where it started, how it started, and what you got going on, brother?
All right. So good morning, everyone. My name is Bryan Majors. I'm the owner of a company called Major Preparation. I'm also the owner of Bryan Majors LLC. The motto of both of our companies are stay focused, remain humble, and keep working. Our co-motto is major work equals major results, and that pertains to all parts of life. So no matter whatever you're doing, you have to understand that you have to put in the work in order to get the results. Major preparation has been built around basketball training, our athletic clothing line, our luxury athleisure clothing line, and just being able to help athletes develop, help adults develop as they grow and pertaining into their lives is become a better person. Under Bryan Majors LLC, that's our personal development, our self-development, and our leadership organization where we travel all over the world, do leadership tours, keynote speaking opportunities that I do, different classes and workshops. And right now I have a book out called Training for Triumph. And that book has sold over 5,000 units. It became an Amazon #1 best-selling book. And it's about mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual development to accomplish your lifelong goals, which is training for triumph and always training for a new triumphant moment. So that's Bryan Major LLC. That's Major Prep. And my alias nickname is the modern day hope dealer, not dope dealer. So I go out all over the world and I deliver hope. I sell hope. I inspire people through hope and I give people nothing but straight hope.
That's absolutely awesome, and I haven't picked up a copy of your book yet because you haven't sent me one yet. But I know I will. I kind of going through it, but I know you and I go way back, and you started at the Boys and Girls Club in Harrisburg,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. That's when you and I first met, and I knew that you told me then that you were on. God gave you a mission to go out and reach as many people as you possibly can, and you're doing that. And that's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that Boys and Girls Club time was a really important time in my life. I was how old was I? Maybe 21, 22-ish. I was like really young at that time, and just based on the person I was, reputation I have, the impact I already had as being a community leader. Since I was in high school, that by the time I was 21, 22 years old, I was actually going to apply for like the gym coordinator position. And during my interview, Mr. Mark and Miss Hollins, they were currently looking for a coordinator and a director of the John Hall Boys and Girls Club. And it was forget being a gym coordinator. We want you to go be a director and do your best to impact this inner city of Harrisburg, a really tough area. And that's exactly what I did. I was there for a year, and then God, like, that was like a really awakening time for me. There was numbers there. Prior, even some backhistory on that place was a guy named Mentor, rest in peace, named Sharon Cunningham, was a phenomenal figure in that area at that Boys and Girls Club. And it was phenomenal, about 15, 20, 30 years in that area where he was just a strong male figure. And then over the years, it ended up dwindling down, and it was really, really tough there. And that place wasn't the hub for that area. And my year there, I brought that same energy and charisma and finesse and care and genuineness to that area. So the numbers were really, really low. Like I'm talking about less than 20 kids a day. But the summer, my very first day, we instantly blew up. Like that Boys and Girls Club was instantly over 100 kids every single day, which hasn't been seen for years. But just during that time, I like always had my vision for major prep, and I was already in pursuit of major prep, and being in that place like was just a wide open like smack in the face is of you have to go pursue this and impact the world. I did a great time impacting my community. I still do, but it's billions of people in the world who need to understand the importance of preparation over the prize and just leadership and character development and strategies and techniques. So that's currently what I'm still doing.
Yeah. So would you say the major preparation, and we had a conversation earlier with a previous guest, is dedication. What would you say about dedication?
Dedication is the key. You only have one life to live. And I tell people all the time is you have to find something that comes easy to you and find a way to make money from it. And once you find that, you become dedicated to it and you dedicate your life to it. Just like people have kids. I'm not sure if you're to have kids, but Tiff, you do have kids who's a hustler herself, who's an entrepreneur herself with her lemonade stand. But I think if she can make lemonade good right now, that in the next 10 years, how good her lemonade may be and how many stores all over the world. So if she dedicates herself in the next 20 years early to becoming one of the best lemonade stand girls, lemonades ever, and who knows where things will go. But dedication is a phenomenal word. It means a lot. And once you become dedicated to something and you put your all into it, this opportunities are limitless.
That's outstanding. I love, and thank you for touching on that. That was an amazing experience to hustle with the lemonade stand today. But I think you touched on it a little bit. You were talking about your inspiration when you were working about major prep. What was really the start and the inception of this? And what was your ultimate intention behind major prep? I'm sure there's like a lot of meaning behind it that you really want the world to know about.
Wow. So as we go into that, like that's like really the meat of major prep. And for me, I was transition. It was May 9th, 2008. That was the day major prep really like smacked me in my face. And that was the worst and best day of my life though. It was the worst day because I lost my father that day. He had to forego heart surgery. And for me being the youngest son of his, I have three older brothers, and I was the youngest son, and I was the last one he spoke to. Not my mom, not my older brother, not his mom, not his father, but I was the last one he spoke to. And at that time in my life, I wasn't sure if if he was gonna make it through his heart surgery or if he wasn't. But his last words to me were, "I'm going to be there for you." So being so young, I didn't really understand that he meant at that moment he was gonna be there for me spiritually, not physically. So he didn't make it through heart surgery. He passed away. I had to face that adversity. That adversity made me grow instantly. And I became to think right away, how can I continue to make my father proud of me? How can I still impact my family? And how can I turn this emotional state into my purpose, into my passion, into profit, but also being able to impact people's lives all over the world like my father did. And I was up late thinking of just our motto, just things he taught me on Saturday mornings when we used to go to coffee as the father and his youngest son. I used to get up with him early, 5, 6 in the morning, go to the coffee shop and go get breakfast. And I ended up thinking my dad always taught me it's important to prepare for what you want. If you don't put in the work for what you want, you'll never get results. So it came to me, major preparation. Major is my last name. One of the most important things my father always taught me was the power of preparation. And then it became major work equals major results because you have to work for what you want. You have to work for the results. So it became major preparation. The motto is made to work is made to results, and that pertains to all parts of life. So no matter whatever you're doing, you have to put in the work in order to get the results. So at that moment, it was just basketball training. It was just going around different local places and doing motivational speakings. And then the clothing line hit. The clothing line hit as a phenomenal marketing piece, and it never stopped. Like it wasn't supposed to grow into what it is now. Maybe it was supposed to, but my vision of it wasn't what it is now, but it just grew into it, and we never stopped building it. And at this point, we're 9 years in, 100% full-blown entrepreneurship and impacting thousands of lives right now.
That's an amazing story and touching, very touching, near to dear, because I was very close to my father, and I mean that's very similar advice: dedication, hard work, and always be kind and make a difference. No matter, even if you're having a bad day, he said, make a difference in somebody's life, and you never know who you're entertaining. And those are words that have always stuck with me. Wow. And as Tiffany knows that I sometimes I grind her a little bit, but with my details. But it's all about the preparation. It's about the hard work. It's about the grind. If you want to be successful, you can be successful.
It's all a choice. Yes, sir.
It is all a choice. And so now you're doing conferences in schools. How did you get into developing that relationships to talking in local? I think you're just in local high schools now, right?
Local middle schools, high schools, local, not local. I mean, I was able to even travel down all the way to New Orleans. I spoke at schools. I'm an adjunct college professor. I go to Baltimore often to speak there. So it started local. I'm going to finish global. And my mind frame is always global. My mentor, Sean Lewis, talks about years ago, he used to always talk to me about local. And I used to say, what's global? He said, you have a global vision, but you build it local until you become global. So that's been my mindset for years at this point. And now we're at a point where I'm traveling all over right now. I have a Training for Triumph leadership tour going on, where I'm going to different schools. I have a powerful inspirational education, preparational keynote speak on the power of preparation on Training for Triumph. And it's about self-mastery and building mental wealth, not focusing on mental health, but mental wealth, and creating generational blessings versus generational curses.
Can you explain what mental wealth is to our followers? Because I know people are like, what is mental? I know what you mean, but I'm not sure everybody else does.
See, mental wealth is a topic that is really, really touchy to me, because life is all about your mindset. And if you don't control your mind, if you don't feed your mind, if you don't protect what you put into your mind, it'll be hard to grow. And I've learned early that the goal financially isn't to get rich. It's not to have to want to get by. It's, in my life, it's the focus is wealth. But wealth starts in your mind. So I rearranged the stigma or the phrase mental health, which people think about mental health, they usually think of, maybe it's something wrong with them. Maybe it's like, I feel like it's an instant, like touchy subject. It's an instant for some people, negative subject. I don't think people say mental health and let's go mental health. I think it's mental health. This is touchy. Be careful. No, I want to build mental wealth. So mental wealth instantly triggers the word wealth is abundance. The word wealth is blessings. So let's build mental blessings. Let's turn that mental health phrase into mental wealth so we can instantly train our mind to abundance of blessings. And that's what I focus on.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you explained that. Thank you, Lance, for that question, because I was like, what is the difference? And to hear the way you explain that, I think that we talk about the fact that mental health is not it should not be a stigma. That's the concept, right? Everyone's like, mental health is so important. But I love the way that just even the verbiage around how we say that can be so impactful. And I love the way you described it being an abundance. We want to have that mental wealth. So I'm absolutely stealing that. I'm just telling you now, that is amazing. So thank you for that. I'm really excited.
Well, I always say that battles are won and lost between 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's right here. Battles are won and lost between 6 inches, and sometimes, and when you're dealing with the youth and adults as well too, you gotta have to explain that to them. You have to believe to speak things into existence.
100%.
And you brought up something earlier that I think is really important, because I know that I've always had one, and I've had several over the years. You brought up mentors. How important is it to have a mentor in your life?
See, I have plenty of men. I have a mentor for almost every, not almost, but I have a mentor for every aspect of my life. I have a mentor for relationships. I have a mentor for networking. I have a mentor for basketball training. I have a mentor for my clothing line. I have a mentor for my leadership speaking. I have a mentor for every aspect of my life. And I've always believed that you should be mentoring and have a mentor.
Yes.
And that's just my leadership stigma. That's my leadership mindset is you should always have a mentor. You should always have a mentee, or
Yes.
always have a mentor and always be mentoring, so that as you're gaining information and knowledge, you're passing it along. And I feel as though people from the age of 6 can be doing that, especially people who have little brothers, little sisters. All right, mom and dad giving us X, Y, and Z. Little bro, don't do X, Y, and Z, or make sure you do X, Y, and Z. Or same for coaches. Coaches may give you something valuable, or a teacher may give you something valuable. You share it along with somebody else. It's because it's just a cycle. And especially for me, I'm 100% in that. I invest in my mentorship. I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars in different mentors, and I give so much away for free to mentees, to different places. Even when I go on tour, I always over deliver. When I'm going to different schools, universities, juvenile programs, summer programs, I always go, and this may be the price. This may be what I say you're going to get, but I'm going to always over deliver, because so many of my mentors pour extra into me and I have to pour back. So having that mentor and mentee, I think everybody should always have.
Absolutely agree. I know Tiffany's looking. She's about to say something.
Well, I do. I have a question for you. No, I love hearing that. And just, I'm once again, in my mind, I'm like, how do I integrate this into my life? I'm always doing that when I'm listening. But what I will say, I'm curious how you've gotten to keynote speaking at your, different schools and everywhere you've been going. How have you really built upon doing that? Is that something that it's word of mouth? Like you go to one program? Because I was watching your videos, because you just like speaking about how impactful it was to be able to spread the message and the word with these kids at the school. But how do you get really like the next one that you're going to? Is it word of mouth, or how are you doing that?
So I have something in line where early on, I used to want to go to every single place. I would go everywhere locally and just go for free and get content and get video. And to the point now where when people are looking for motivational speakers, inspirational speakers, my catalog is pretty healthy at this point. It's now where I go to one place, I ask for 3 referrals. Who are your 3 people that you would think would really love this message for their school? Social media is a huge hit right now. I mean, you can hashtag principles, and you'll have a list of 25, there are X amount of principles, and you send them a message. You ask them, you let them know who you are and what you do, and it all becomes a number game. But it's also constant networking, relationship building. Those are the biggest things. But I always, everywhere I go, is definitely say and ask, or 3 other places or schools that you believe would really value and receive this message really well.
That's awesome. What I'm hearing when you're saying, sorry, Lance, is that ultimately you put in all this time. You did it with the intention that I'm not going to make any money on this. Right now, it's really building building my product, which the product is really you, because you're providing all the hope that you're spreading everywhere you go. And so ultimately that time, that sweat equity that you put in is now paying off in leaps and bounds. So that's really, it comes back to the dedication, as you were talking about, Lance, as well, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm probably going to bring this up, and you might not even have it on the tip of your head, but I know for me, when all the youth kids that I've gone through, and now that I see them becoming youth leaders and changing the world, and I say to myself, wow, I had a part of that
Yeah.
impact of them. Can you pick out a particular story real quick to share with us that really touches you, how you reached a particular individual that now is just doing something absolutely amazing?
Wow. There's so many.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, for me, one of the most powerful things now is one of my mentees. His name was Donald Ross, and he's from Philadelphia. He moved to Harrisburg, and when he moved to Harrisburg, he was playing a basketball team, but he was an underdog player. So I used to train him every single day and work with him and inspire him and motivate him. And then he ended up going to Hampton University as a walk-on player. And he walked on, and he wanted to quit so many times, but he didn't quit. I told him all, but always telling him, man, this is going to further your life by you not quitting, by things not going as you plan. And he graduated Hampton University. He moved to Atlanta with his wife. He started a videography company, and I helped him start that, build it up, and he ended up letting it go. But now he continued to just grind things out. He had a couple part-time jobs, and now he just opened his own icy truck, his mobile icy truck in Atlanta called So Icy. And man, he's really doing it. He's really, really doing it. He's in Atlanta, Georgia right now. His name is Donald Ross, a company called So Icy. One of my mentees, little brothers, and we used to just have talks and about leadership, perseverance, and dedication, and things not going as planned, but you learn lessons from every single day. There's no losses, it's only lessons. You always take every experience and you find the best out of that. You find a positive out of it, and you add it to whatever you're going to do and pursue next. That's my guy. That's my guy, and he's married to a beautiful young lady named Malia Tate DeFreitas, who I helped her score 3,000 points in high school, 3,000 points in college basketball. She's his right hand lady, and they're a phenomenal partnership together. But Donald Ross is one of those guys who really, really close to my heart in regards to mentorship.
Thank you for sharing that story. Because yeah, I know that I kind of put you on the spot with that one, and but it's tough. And but you hit on something. There's always a lesson learned in a L. You
Yeah,
know, and there's always in our last guest, Quincy Faison, we were talking about lacrosse and going 0-4, in a tournament. But there was lessons learned, and that's where we need to be. Is like we can't look at it as a negative. It's like, what can we do to make ourselves better?
right.
To get that taste out of our mouth. So thank you for sharing that.
My pleasure. It's no problem. I love that mentee mentor thing. Is huge though. It's huge, huge.
It is, and that's one of the greatest things about working with youth, and the inner city kids, and suburban kids. It's about giving back.
Yeah,
God has blessed us to be able to give back to the younger generation. I always say that if you get the opportunity to sit down with an older gentleman,
have
as
to.
I say, Saturday
Have to.
morning coffee. If you get the opportunity to sit down with an older gentleman, you sit there and you keep your mouth shut and you open up those ears, because that's wisdom being passed down to you. That which is it's more precious than gold or any money
Hmm.
or anything, you know. And you take that in, and then you just take it, use it yourself, and pass it on.
Yeah.
And that's really what we all need to be doing. You know, we all need to be showing more kindness in the world and making a difference in this crazy world.
Facts.
And that's and you are for sure.
I appreciate that.
I think I told Tiffany the other day, I think you've probably cloned yourself. Um,
I don't know what you're doing in your free time cloning yourself. You probably have like 2 or 3 of yourselves, but
they're all over the country right now, so they're doing other things. Well,
there's keynote speaking. Yeah, I know.
Right.
Can I ask a question? I know we didn't touch. We've been talking about so much good stuff, good wholesome stuff, but I would absolutely love to hear a little bit too about your fashion line or your product line, Major Prep. So can you tell us a little bit about that as well, and where you can get that good stuff?
Yeah, so our major prep apparel is a luxury athleisure clothing line where we have t-shirts, hats, sweatsuits, bags, fanny packs, watch bands, masks, you name it, we have it. Sneakers, socks, wristbands, and it's so comfortable. And it's literally a luxury athleisure clothing line where people will, like, you might want to purchase a sweatsuit, think you're going to the gym, wear to the gym and say, I'm not wearing this in here again. I'm wearing this to the club, or I'm wearing this to the night. I'm going to wear this to girls' night out instead. Or some people buy stuff and think that they are going to go to the gym, and then I'll see them out hanging out somewhere at an event with it on instead. It's like, man, this was too fly not to have on here. Forget the gym. I'll get a t-shirt or something. But we have, the good part about our line is we have a distinction now where we have a lot of dry fit stuff where it's like this is our direct athletic workout gym apparel, and we have different other styles where we have a good separation of this is luxury athletes. You might not want to wear it in the gym, but you can. But you also might want to wear this to go to a nice event, to go hang out with family and friends, to go to a cookout, or to travel, the whole nine. So
yeah, I think I saw just a recent post where I think you were getting on a plane, and I don't think you noticed it, but there was somebody walking in front of you that had some of your apparel on.
a little boy.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was actually my nephew.
Oh, okay.
That was my nephew. So my nephew, he has an abundance of he's gonna own it by the time he gets to middle school. He'll be selling major prep here.
All right, can I be your older nephew and get a lot of major prep stuff?
Can I just say too, I was looking at some of the pictures, and the way you just described your clothing line is like exactly true. You have a women's line as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the stuff that they were wearing, it looked like it was something you could take to the gym, absolutely, but they were just like too stinking cute. And cute's probably not the right word. Okay, the ladies looked hot, okay, in their apparel. So they could absolutely be at the club sporting that stuff. So It's really cool. If you haven't checked it out, what is your site? We'll make sure it's in the links, but what's your site for the clothing line?
The site is www.majorprepapparel, MAJORPREPAPPAREL, majorprepapparel.com.
Perfect.
Right. So big question is there a second book coming out?
So the Training for Triumph, that's already out. That's over 5,000 sales. There's now 4,506 books left to 10,000 units sold. Training for Triumph 2.0 is out now, which is really targeted towards aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring authors. So for the Training for Triumph 2.0 book, that has also included with a free t-shirt. It has how to start your business in 7 steps. It has how to write your book in 30 days or less. And it has the regular, actual motivational, inspirational, and life blueprint of the body content that's already in Training for Triumph. So that's out now as well for this next billions of people to buy their book who have a story to tell and want to start their business. Also have my 20 business tips along with the book is also. The Remaining Hours is the sequel to Training for Triumph. The book is already ready. It's already done. I'm not releasing it until 10,000 units sold of Training for Triumph, though. So
Okay.
the hustle for the grind of Training for Triumph, for after these next 4,506 books, the Remaining Hours, which is the sequel, will be dropped.
So all you Saturday morning coffee fans, there you go. Let's get Bryan to the next level with this book, because I know there's a lot of great information in there that can help you individually and help your company. It can help your youth. It can help you take you to the next level.
The book is
So
really, I mean, there's people's lives. I mean, there's stories and testimonies about this book that are like, I've had fathers call me crying because they read this book at their dining room table with him and his sons and his family and his wife. I've had juvenile youth say, "Man, I never had nobody talk to me like this. I never had no father figure." I've had little girls who are 12 years old write paragraphs of a book report when their moms would call and say, "My daughter never read a book this fast." I mean, there's college students who read this book and are saying, "Man, I wish I'd have known this when I was in high school." There's companies, owners or CEOs of companies who have bought their entire book and doing book reads with their companies, because it's not only impacting their employees, but this is helping that employee's mindset for when they go back home. I mean, this book is, I wrote the book targeted towards middle school, high schoolers, but also for any parent, any CEO, anybody, everybody's book has something in it for them, hands down. Like, forget being mine. I'm going to say that very confidently. Any and everybody should have this book. This is the modern day Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Think and Grow Rich. This is that caliber of book.
okay, that's what I was going to say. If it was like relatively right along those lines of Rich Dad Poor Dad, because that's another book. But yes, we'll be definitely be sure to be picking those up ourselves and getting some major prep gear.
And that book is on bryanmajors.com. Bryan Majors, BRYN Major.com. People can buy that book as well.
Thank you for the time. And I know it's Saturday, and you are like, you probably don't sleep 6 hours
How
maybe
much?
a day. You know, I'm gonna have to get you up against Quincy Faison to see who can stay up the longest.
Quincy got it. I need my 6 hours. I need my 5. Quincy doing 4 hours, man. I remember those days though. I remember those days of sleepless nights. I mean, sleepless. 4 hours is sleepless. Like, that's a cat nap. So Quincy, big up to Quincy.
Well, in order to be successful, you got to put in the hours. You know, and I know that you talked about a profit, and you know you're making a profit. God has blessed you with that, but I really want to take it really back to, you know, where it started from, and to let our followers know. I know that, you know, you are gaining profits from this and so forth, that, but this is not what it was. This was all about helping other people. This was all about making a difference in people's lives, and the money followed.
Right. So that's one of the most important things. That's the hustler over there. That's one of the most important things though, is you chase the dream.
All right, here's our lemonade hustler.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to read his book, okay? Bryan Majors. He has an awesome book, Train for Triumph, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be our nighttime story tonight. We'll have to order it first, but I'll make it happen.
All right. But yes, that's where it stems from, is the impact. Income comes, you follow, you know, dive into your purpose, profit follows, but it's all about chasing the dream, the vision, the value, the impact, and the purpose, and the finances of eventually follow. Like, people go to work to their job, and every 2 weeks they get an income, they get a profit, like, for the time you spend, and it's no difference. But the ultimate goal is that value, the purpose, the passion, inspiration, education, and the hope that gets dealt.
Yep, and again, I'm going to touch on this too, as with the mentorship, and I had the same conversation with Quincy. Iron sharpens iron.
Oh,
You know, you always want to set yourself up with somebody who's successful. who you want to emulate, who you want to follow and surpass.
Yeah.
You know, and I know, and I've had many people that that I have trained that have surpassed me, and
that's what it's about.
There's nothing better than having somebody that you train surpass you. You've done your job.
Leadership. That's real leadership.
Absolutely.
That's real leadership.
And that's what it's all about. And Tiffany, you have any closing statements? Because I'm sure he's got to get on a jet and get somewhere.
Yeah, it's time to go get my morning workout now. After this morning coffee, I'm amped up.
No, I'm honored to get to know you, and I'm looking forward to reading your book and your other book. And then, like you said earlier, we need to hit that 10,000 books sold so that you can release your next one. So exciting stuff. It's truly an honor. I appreciate you spreading hope in this world because we need it. And ultimately, I'm inspired by the wonderful things and the impacts you're making in everyone else's lives. So thank you, Bryan.
My pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I know that you're extremely busy, and I thank you for taking the time out to be on Saturday Morning Coffee and sharing the word. And we're going to pass on the word, and keep doing your thing, brother. I mean, you're making a difference in so many lives, and I know you're going to make a difference in so many more lives. And we're going to follow your journey. I know that you and I are going to connect up again, and I'm going to come down and maybe give a speech or two. And I don't move as fast as I used to, but I can still drain it. But again, thank you, and cheers to you for joining us on Saturday Morning Coffee.
My pleasure.
And just keep making a difference, man. God bless you.
I greatly appreciate you guys' time.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.